What's up, y'all? This is the Runners Club podcast. Thank you for coming back and joining us once again. I'm your co-host, Courtney Phillips. And that right there, hey, that's Ian Gonzalez.
How we feeling this morning? Listen, I am up, moving around, fully caffeinated, feeling really, really, really good.
I'm feeling good. I'm about to do a overnight with like a sponsored overnight thing. So that's going to be fun. And it's like, so yeah, I'm very much like, I got a list. I've been checking things off. This is, you know what I mean? This is another thing. After this, I'm about to head out. Like, I'm on a schedule, but it feels good. And, I still made time for the important things, like going for my morning walk with Matthew and our dog. I think that just, as a reminder to y'all, like, even when you have a million things to do, make time for the important things with the important people in your life.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, thank you.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's smooth. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear. Because of me, we don't have time to talk in front of our interview, but I can't wait to hear about it after.
There's a lot to talk about. This month is very packed with the running things. On the West Coast, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
For us.
The whole city coming out there.
Yeah. The whole Chicago.
The whole city.
Chicago. I saw a video the other day of, and it was on Today in Chicago, that Instagram.
I want to get on that Instagram so bad.
I'm not even gonna lie.
So bad.
I've been on it like 5 times, but they love me, but
they love me.
Yeah, I really do love that Instagram, and they posted a reel of the culture doing donuts in the middle of the street, cop cars sitting there watching it happen, and I was just like,
no fucks be given.
Chicago's culture is second to none. I don't care what anybody says, and I really think I can say that now because I've been a lot of places, and Chicago is beautiful.
Chicago is beautiful.
That's all I gotta say.
I love that. Chicago is beautiful. It's fucking gorgeous. You know what's not gorgeous? Is Instagram. Well, you can't hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. See, I'm trying to do a lot right now. This is what happens when Ann is unprepared. Instagram won't let me log in.
It's all good. I mean, there is your phone as well. But while you get that figured out, let's let in our guest, because today's guest is a gem. He's a gem that's been a part of the community for a very long time. I don't even know why I'm saying it like that. He's just a cool dude. And I feel like this, I believe in timing, and this is good timing.
Yeah, I feel like we brought him on for the vibes alone. Like, I actually have I've shared space with him, but never spoken directly to him. So I'm just like,
really?
I have expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to see where we are. Like,
lay your expectations down, Ian. Okay. Let's just have a conversation.
Okay. I can make no promises.
Okay. All right, y'all. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and we're with Kam Casey. Okay, like y'all, you don't even understand, Kam. Like, I say this to some of our guests, and I'm just like, "You've been on our list," and I'm like, "You've been in the back of my mind on the list." Where I'm like, eventually we'll have Kam on, and now is the time. So thank you and welcome in.
Yo, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is like, it's. I know you. I've shared space with you, but I was telling Courtney, like, I don't think I've ever truly had like an actual like conversation with you, like, directly and stuff like that. So this is pretty cool because like I've seen you pop up in so many different, not just events, but then like on my screen, like YouTube, Instagram. Everywhere. And honestly, like, I just started following your Instagram, but I didn't know that I wasn't following you because I've seen you on my feed.
Yeah. No, I just started following you too. So it's funny though, because like I pay attention to what y'all are doing in Chicago so much. And like, Chicago is definitely like an inspiration point for me for running, because coming out of college, I don't know, I was just like, didn't know how to move or where to go with it. And then, I don't know, I just started seeing like all these communities started to pop up, like Gumbo Fit, Last Lap on the south side, Heartbreak on the north side. And like, that's you guys starting those kind of movements is what got me like back into running. Cause I was like down bad for a minute.
That's what I heard. I heard that through the grapevine. Cause one, I heard that you're from Indiana, and two, I got introduced to you through Picasso, which we've talked about Picasso many times. Every time Picasso's on, it's insane. And
that's a character.
So you're from Indiana, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Indianapolis? Or are you like from the surrounding area?
No, I'm from Indianapolis. My dad's from Korea. He immigrated when he was a teenager and then met my mom in Indianapolis, and then they stayed there. So.
Wow. I have some qualms against Indianapolis because I'm from Minneapolis and everybody pronounces it Minneapolis. And I just want to say it right now, just to make it clear. These are two different places. Okay?
Definitely. Very different, like vastly different.
Yes.
I would assume. I've been to Minneapolis once, so.
It's okay. It's a hidden gem and I prefer it that way. If you don't know, you don't need to know. Like, that's how I feel about Minneapolis. But
Minneapolis too.
Okay, great, Ian. This is the Midwest kids right here. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
I love it. So you were running in college?
Yeah, so I was a steeplechaser in college. Ran cross country as well, but steeplechase is definitely where I like excelled. And so
steeplechase is so wild.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's a crazy race. I always tell people, and people who don't know what it is, I'm like, all right, so it's 5 jumps per lap. But the 4th jump in the lap is over water, and they're always like scratch their head.
Yeah,
so I
water.
I always like pull up this video. I think like my senior year, somebody's mom from another school that we knew, this kid that we knew, had like filmed an entire race of us. So like only record I have of myself steeplechasing is this one random YouTube video of like me in, I don't even know, 2015 or 16 or something like that.
What? That's crazy. You know what? Okay, but how old are you? Just out of curiosity.
I'm 30.
See, this is what I told people. Because the thing, everyone thought that you were like mid-20s. I was like, no, Cam is our age.
A kid yesterday was like, I was having a conversation with this kid I work with, and he was like talking to me about like kind of my experiences, because he's 23, trying to make his own brand. He was asking me about like, because I've just been around like streetwear and fashion for so long. And he was just asking, like, trying to pick my brain. And I'm like, yeah, I'm old. Like, you have time. You have so much time. And he's like, how old are you? And I was like, 30. He was like, bro, I thought you were 25. I thought you were like my age. I was like, absolutely not, man. Like, you have so much time.
We have time too. Don't do that.
Like, so much pressure.
Because I was telling him, like, he was like, every time we have this little conversation, like he'll chime in and he'll be like, wait, you used to do this? Or you used to DJ? Or you used to this? And I'm like, yeah, bro, like it's been a long life.
Multiple lives. Okay.
It's been a long life.
But I mentioned, I asked that question because of the fact that you said that you don't have a lot of documentation of you doing these races in the past. And like, that's it. It's like, if you're a 90s baby, early 90s baby, like that's basically why.
Yeah, there's no high school cross country of me and IG. And now all these like young kids breaking 4 minutes in the mile, they got like Instagram, TikTok, all this stuff. They got deals in high school with like all these brands. I'm like, yo, y'all are going crazy. And they have like carbon fiber in all their shoes. So these kids are crazy.
Is it the shoe?
Is it?
No. It's definitely not the shoe. But I think like, we came up running. I'm sure all of our high school coaches were just kind of like, yo, go run some miles. Yeah. Now all these kids, like all their coaches have access to like the best information possible. So,
True.
I think it's probably that.
Now, you said that you were down bad, and again, I say that I heard this through the grapevine through Picasso, because that's how I met you, was like, I heard about you. I remember seeing you like at a track race in Chicago. Someone pointed you out and was saying that you were getting back into running, and like, there was a conversation about you, and I remember, and that's like me meeting. But then I saw you, and I was like, "But what does that even mean? Like, he runs so fast. Like, what does that mean for someone like you?"
Yeah, I think it was like post college. I had run really fast. I was like 21st on the list in Division II for the steeplechase, and that was like first runner out that year. So they usually take like 20 to 22, and they took 20. So that was a little sad. So then like I was like, you know what though, like, I'm going to keep running. I'm going to try to like run some fast times post college. At that same time, I got the job with RSVP Gallery. And then like that was like dream job. Like I looked up to Don and Virgil like my whole life, and then to work for their store and like, have their guidance was like a dream. So I just like dedicated myself to that fully. And then I'd be running at like 11 o'clock at night because I had worked until 10, or like I'd run at 2 o'clock in the morning, like on the 606 in Chicago. And like, I'd just be out there like grinding, 70, 80. And then like at some point in the first winter of Chicago, I was like 100-mile weeks, and I ran this like crazy road race. I think it was like 8.3 miles in like 41 minutes. And I was like, I'm fit. I'm about to rip this track season.
Fit.
And then, I was feeling crazy. I was feeling insane. And then I don't know if it was like my first time like running on snow and ice like that so consistently, whatever, but I got really injured and like had to take like weeks down. And so I ended up running like 9:20 in the steeple on the track that year. And then I was just kind of like, what do I do? I don't want to stop like spending time at this job where I think there's like a lot of value and a lot of opportunity, but I also like, I have a like will and drive to compete. And so I was just like floating around for a few months. And then Luke Larson, who was actually working with Nike at the time, he hit me up. I was like, yo, Heartbreak, I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're about to open a store in Chicago. They have a flyers program, and essentially like fast runners program where they'll support you, help you get into races, give you gear, all this stuff. Would you be our first flyer? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And so that's kind of how I like transitioned into marathoning. I think it was like 2019. So there was still like a full year of like kind of me just floating around. I won like Take the Bridge in 2018. That was pretty cool. And then like I did a couple other races, but it wasn't until 2019, the marathon, that like I actually was like, okay, I've like found a new stride.
That was your first marathon?
Yeah, 2019.
We ran our first marathon in the same year.
In Chicago.
Yep.
Yeah, it was such a good year. Like 2019 was beautiful. It was like best weather, beautiful day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good.
Okay, so you transitioned from a steeple race to a marathon?
Yeah.
Was there anything in between? Like, was there any races that you were interested in? Like, and why? I mean, I guess especially in Chicago with Nike sponsoring, like Nike wants everyone to know that the Chicago Marathon is the race that they sponsor.
Yeah.
And so it is a big deal there. And if like you get attention, they're like, run the marathon. So I can understand that.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but it's just like, that's an easy thing to do. But is that what you wanted? Like, because I feel like the marathon is something where you can do that into your later life, and that can just be the thing that keeps you fit and moving.
Yeah, for sure. So my mom was like elite marathoner and half marathoner back in her day. Like she had like brief stints with like Brooks and Asics at some point. So I kind of knew eventually I wanted to run marathons, or at least like fast half marathons, but I never had like actually trained or done it. Mm-hmm. I had run like 2 half marathons and gone like, I think I went like 1:15 or something like that. And I was like, man, maybe I should train for this. And then it kind of just happened. Like I got the bib from Nike in 2019. They were like, do you want to do the Chicago Marathon? And I said, yeah. And it just kind of like started training with the Heartbreak people, hopped in with Second City for some workouts. And then, I just like, I didn't train super seriously. I was running like 45 miles a week, which like, I think that's all relative. Like I'm used to, like 80 to 100-mile weeks in college. And then now I'm running. Yeah.
I'm just,
yeah.
Do you consider yourself a sub-elite athlete?
I think I trained like one. I think I'm some minutes away from being a sub-elite though.
What does that mean?
I think like the type of work and the workouts that I'm doing now are definitely at the at the caliber of like a sub-elite, but I haven't put the times down yet. Like I think I took a good step a couple weeks ago. I went 68 minutes in the half marathon in Ventura, which is cool. And then hoping to like go under that in Brooklyn in May. But
what's the qualifying time for sub-elite?
I think for like Olympic trials is like 2:18 in the marathon. So I got some time. I got some time to shave.
I thought it was faster than that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's fast, but it's within reach. I think I'm within striking distance. So
what's your fastest marathon?
I went 2:28 in Chicago this past year.
So literally 10 minutes.
10 minutes is a lot, but
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of
At that
time.
speed,
you know.
That's a lot
But
of
like,
time.
what? Like, why not? Why not try to chip away at it? You know,
you're closer than most. That's
no. I mean, like, I know guys who from like their first year of marathoning to like now have taken off like 15, 16 minutes, you know, and they're like went from 2:30 to 2:14. So I don't think it's impossible to like take that time off. You know, my first marathon was 2:31, and I'd like to think that I could do the same and get down below 2:18. If not, at least try, you know.
Facts. It's like, was it, I know like running is running, but going from track, going from steeple to now like legit like marathoning and stuff like that, was it a big change on your body, the way you move, the way you work out and stuff like that, even the running adjacent things? Like, how has it, did you have to transform your body a little bit? And if so, how?
I think so, a little. Just like the first year I did the marathon, I was running, like I said, I was running like lower miles. And what I would do is like every run would be like 6:30 pace. So even if it was a recovery run, and then like every workout was like crushing hard, but it was like the most volume I'd done in workouts before, you know, like I was doing like 3x5K towards the end of it and stuff like that. So the volume was higher and the like work was fast. And that's what I was used to for steeplechase. But I don't think that was like super sustainable, because the second marathon I ran, I tried to like increase my miles and keep that up, and I just had no gas in the tank. So like I had to reframe it and rethink about it and like add it in. Oh yeah. Like when I moved to LA, everyone like clowned me. Everyone was like, yo, like, why are you running every run at 6:40 pace or faster? And I'm like, that's just what I do. I don't know. That's just all I know. And so I don't know if you guys probably know Knox. So he was like, yo, slow it down. He's like, 8-minute pace is fine. Like before this podcast, I went 4 miles at 32 minutes, you know. He was like, 8-minute pace for your recovery runs is fine. He's like, we're going to hit these workouts like hard. So you got to slow it down and like be able to recover and like do it. And so I think that was the biggest transformation, is like learning to like recover on the easy days and like let the body just get the miles in and, you know, build the aerobic engine. And then on the hard days, just crush. Like yesterday I was on the track moving. So
I'm ripping it.
You know,
I love it.
So you mentioned Knox and you mentioned moving to LA. Now let's back it up. So why did you move to LA? No, it's just we're gonna touch on all these points because it's you know, but you and I moved to LA also around the same time.
Yeah.
What was the impetus for that? Like just to change what?
So I actually had planned on it before COVID. My girlfriend and I had signed a short-term lease. The lease was ending. We were planning to move all of our stuff into my parents' garage, go live in Hawaii for like a month or two, and then move to LA and figure it out. And then COVID happened. That didn't happen. So we ended up like chilling in Indiana for like a year in like a house with a buddy of mine. And then during that, I was working like remotely for RCP. And then COVID hit them kind of hard at some point, and they like scaled back their creative way big. And I got hit with a reduction in force, which is essentially like you're getting laid off or you're never coming back.
Damn.
Right.
So it's like a nice way of saying like bye.
Right.
But yeah, I got hit with that. And so I was like out of the job. And then I think within a month, another kid from Indiana who works out here for Market, there used to be Chinatown Market. He hit me up and was like, yo, you trying to move to LA still? And I said, of course. And he said, I got a position for you. Can we get on like a call with our, you know, management team and let's interview. And then so at Market. So by November of 2021, like I was out here and like I've been doing that since. I switched up, like I went from like full-time employee to contractor, but I'm still like working with them a bunch and then working with some other companies too.
And I saw on your website, you're a creative director, producer, and designer. Okay. Yeah. And so I've seen your work. It's really dope. And I never really got a grasp for exactly what you do, but everything that I've seen on your website, which it seems like it looks like is that newer? Did you just put that up?
No, that's been up. That website's been live for like 2-3 years.
Never noticed it.
Yeah. It sits at the bottom there. And like, I don't point people towards it. It's more just for like professional resume. Cause I'm just like, I'm not like posting a bunch of work all the time on my IG. It's mostly just like random memories and running from life. And so, yeah, I'm like, but if anybody wants to see it, like they can click and see what I do for a living. And like I did art direction for King Von's last album, What It Means to Be King. And then like, I've done a bunch of art direction for RCP Gallery. And so I do a little bit of everything.
You're very talented. And I just want people to know that.
Yes.
And recognize.
Thank you.
I personally do need to know what the fuck creative director does though.
He's like, trying to figure so much out right now.
So it's like, honestly, like people, like, these kids are like, I'm a creative director. Yeah. And like, that's like, period. What the fuck does and everyone's like, what does that mean? They're like, I'm directing creatively. And no, that's not what it is. So like truly what like a creative director or art director at a company does, like if you're like thinking in like a fucking like structured business, it's like you're managing people to like get ideas out. So like when I was art director at RCP Gallery, I had a team of photographers, copywriters, all this. And I was essentially like setting standards and guidelines for photo and copy and all these different things. I mean, like, all right, when we take photos, they have to be either they have to look like this or they have to meet this standard. If we want to do something different, like I have to approve it. We need to talk about the concept. And so it's really like, you're just like a filter for whatever company. So like, obviously Don and Virgil like set the original art direction for RCP Gallery, right? Like what it looks like, the kind of clothes that are in there, etc. And so then you're just like, as an art director or creative director that's like hired by a company like that, you're just upholding that vision. That's all you're doing. You're not, people think of it as like this like glamorous thing, but you're kind of like a dad to a bunch of kids, the kids being creatives. And then like, you're making sure all the kids do their chores so that,
So wait,
it's like project managing, but creative.
Exactly. It's literally that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cause like in my personal life, like outside of running, that's something I'm trying to get into, like on like employment/contract kind of situation. Really mostly contract. Cause niggas trying to build brands out here. But like that, and I was just like, what is creative directing? Like, I feel like that's it was like project management for creative people and stuff like that, or creative directions for brands.
Exactly. And so for like King Von this past year, what I did was like, I put together, so like he passed away and they didn't have these things in place. So I put together like a huge marketing deck for them, which shows like his demographic, brands that are like him, artists that are like him, who listens to him, where they can listen to him at, and like all these things that you can then take to another label, a collaborator or something, and show like, here's all the things that we have about King Von, and like here's his aesthetic, and here's photos of him, and here's how he dressed, and here's his style, and all these different typefaces that he uses. And you just essentially package things so that when we were making merchandise for the album art or for the album, I wasn't like designing that out merchandise myself. I was maybe making mock-ups. Excuse me. But then we'd have like a bunch of super talented designers like come in and be like, okay, we see what you've put together, and we've also seen what Von does in the past. Now let us put together a package of designs for you. And then I like filter it out and be like, yeah, I like this. No, I don't like that. And so it's you're just like a filter, and you're just managing the project to make sure like everything gets done,
I love that. So, okay, RSVP had you running at like at the wild hours, right?
Yeah.
Now you a freelancer, you creative directing and things like that. How are you able to balance now your running and your training with, going out here and getting this money?
I think it's more the fact that like if I'm directing or producing a shoot, like a photo shoot, like I have a photo shoot tomorrow that I'm producing for Speed Project. I get to pick those days when we shoot, and like I set the hours and stuff. Now, obviously there's deadlines and you have to work within those deadlines to make sure that things get met. But it really just comes down to like, one, discipline. When I was younger, way less disciplined. I would like not wake up early, work late, all this stuff. And now I'm like, it's 7:00. Anything work related that can be done tomorrow. Like no one is being productive after 7:00. Now, obviously, if it's like a special circumstance,
you're talking about PM.
Yeah, PM.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if it's dinner time, like we're like, it's done for the day. We can't do anything else. No one else is doing anything else. You can't rely on X amount of people to be on their phone and checking all this stuff. So it's like, one, is not productive and it's not respectful to other people's time and your own time. And the other thing is like just waking up and knowing like you got to get up and do this to be able to do everything else. So like I used to be bad when I first started dating my girlfriend. I would make her wait to eat dinner. I wouldn't make her wait, but it would be like I'd be running at 7 or 8 and then she'd get left cooking and then we wouldn't eat till 9 o'clock. And now I'm like, all right, if I just wake up and do these runs with, you know, all the homies at Capri at 6 a.m., then I can cook dinner while she's working at 7. And it's like, you know, it's like more fair. And it's like, it's more considerate. And then like, you're a better partner and you're a better all this. So I think it's more just like, as I've gotten older and I've like learned to respect my time and other people's time more, which is just maturity, right? Like,
yeah.
And y'all get your workouts in early.
Yo.
Early.
I keep telling these fools that like, they're lucky that like, it just like is so cosmically aligned, this group. Cause like if the stars had aligned any differently, they would have to drag me out of bed in the morning. Yeah. But like I love them too much to disappoint them. Like I remember in college, I would be the dude with morning practice. Like the whole team would have to jog to my house and like bang on my door to get me out of bed.
Oh, I would hate you.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone hated morning practice. Sometimes they would just be like, we're not even going to wake him up. He can just run later on his own. We'll make him do it by himself. So like now it's like, I don't know what it is, but like 4:45 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, my alarm goes off. Like my feet just hit the floor and I just go, you know?
Yeah. So you moved to LA, you got a new job, you like, shout out to your girlfriend, by the way, she's gorgeous. I was going to bring this up later, but like, wow. You know what I mean? To me, she's a highlight of your feed. You know, whenever she makes an appearance, I take a moment to zoom in. Yeah. And just give her the respect that she deserves. Yeah. Because wow.
Ridiculous. And the thing is like, she's ridiculously pretty, obviously, but also like crazy talented. She's like fine art photography major, like best photographer I know, super talented designer, like actually designed a ton of stuff for RCP and a bunch of the collabs we did. And then also like got into set design and stuff when we were in Indiana. Did some stuff for like the Indiana Pacers, HGTV. And then when we moved to LA, she's like, I think I'm going to do more of that. I think I'm going to like try more of that. And like, didn't know anybody, had no connects, reached out to a few people. And within like a month, she was working on like Netflix movies. She worked on a like Euphoria thing. She worked on something for The Last of Us recently. Like she's going crazy. Like
go crazy.
Yeah. What's her name? Crazy. Sala.
Shout out to you, Sala.
Yeah. So she's real deal.
Real deal. Y'all are amazing. You're a power couple. We're a fan of that here. When did you meet Knox? Can you tell us who Knox is and what he means to you?
So it's crazy because I had followed First Run and like Black Roses on Instagram since like I had Instagram. They were like, you know, Black Roses was like the OG cool run crew. Like all the photos were black and white and vibey and like kind of mysterious and, you know, and then like I followed First Run just because it was a running Instagram account and I was running and he was, you know, Knox is like doing vibey stuff that was like outside of running. So then I get to LA and I go to a Good Vibes workout and there's just this dude with a coffee mug and some Fear of God, like mules. Actually, they're Fear of God, like slip on, like shoes that he has like pushed his feet down into and like completely destroyed the heel cup so that they are mules now.
Oh, wow.
But I see this guy and like I'm working out and we're doing like 10 by 300 meters or something. I don't know any of these people. That's where I meet like Brian Justy. I think Alexi Pappas was at that workout. And then like, whoa, I know I was like, 2 and 2 didn't get put together until Knox started saying, let's go Alexi. And I'm like, oh, that's Alexi Pappas, like Olympian. So we're doing this workout and then he doesn't really say anything to me after. I think I come to like a long run and then they have 3 by mile afterwards. And so this is when I'm like a little more comfortable with Brian Justy and is like my main training partner. And I'm like, what do you think? Like 5:15, we see how it feels and we just work it down from there. And he's like, maybe. He's like, that might be hard. And I'm like, nah, man, you're fit. Trust me. And so we go 5:15. Knox was like, what was that? I said 5:15. He goes, too slow. You guys are 5:05 or faster. And I was like, under my breath, but like definitely loud enough for this dude to hear me. I was like, why don't you get your ass out here and run 18 miles and then go do 3 by mile at 5:05, dude? Like, I don't see you doing this. And this is before I even like I don't register who Knox is. So I'm like, who is this dude? So then we go like 5:05, 5:01 or whatever for the miles. And I'm like, all right. So clearly he knew we had it in us. And then like time goes by and I see him at this Tracksmith workout, which is like a 3 by 5K. And he's like, yo, Cam, I've seen you at Good Vibes. Like, let's keep this group together. Let's get a good workout in and like, let's pace this group well. And so like, I'm like a metronome when I run, like tell me a pace. Like if I'm on a track, whatever, like I can just hit it. I don't know what it is. It's like years of running experience.
That's talent.
I don't know. But like, you tell me like, go run 75 seconds for a quarter. Like, I don't even need a watch. I can just do it. But we're like running this 3 by 5K. He's like, no, one more. So we do 4 by 5K. He's like, oh, Roses is going to do one more. Cam, pace Toby. And so Toby's one of the Black Roses, members, but I go to pace Toby. He's working me. So I end up pacing Knox and I'm pacing Knox from like his like back right shoulder. And he's like, motherfucker, stop pacing me from behind. But it was like, we started talking afterwards and he was like, yo, we got to start getting like the fast people in LA together. He's like, it's like a void that needs to be filled. He's like, there's like not a place like for people to just like meet up and like go hard. And so then like he throws me and Brian into a group chat. We start doing workouts and then, the rest is kind of history. Like Capri is born.
So he is your coach.
Yeah. So Knox is now like our coach. He writes all the workouts for us. But it is nice because it's like a kind of organic and it's like a holistic approach to running. Cause it's not like Knox is saying, go run this at this pace. A lot of it's on feel. A lot of it's on, just like what you have on the day. So it's like, he'll say a general threshold tempo, this, that, and the other, but it's not like if my threshold pace is 5:15 or 5:11 or whatever it is, and all I have in me is 5:30 for that day, he's not in my ear barking, yelling at me saying like, yo, what are you doing? All this and the other. He's like, if this what you have on the day, like if that's the effort that's in there and that effort is threshold pace, he's like, that's what it is. That's just like listening to your body. That's what your body has. And so I literally had a workout like that last week where we were doing like 8 by mile and it's supposed to be at like 5:10 to 5:15 and I couldn't get under 5:40. And I just did it and felt like horrible, but bounced back. We had a second workout in the afternoon, just like cleared my mind, stretched out well, like bounced back and like had a perfect second workout of the day, like 16 by 400 at like 74 seconds. So I was like, great. And all these numbers are like trivial to the point of like, it's nice to have someone that's coaching and also like leveling with you on a really personal level on like what running should be. It's not all about times and numbers and this, that, and the other. It is about like being able to feel it, and I think that's like too many people get caught up in like hitting a goal time or a goal pace for every single workout when like even pro runners are going to have bad workouts, and like just like reframing like what's bad and what's just what you have on the day is really important, I think. And so that's been nice for the past year of like training with these people.
Yeah, perspective is so much of our experience, like what we're deciding this experience will be. I did like a mad dumb corny ass video for content on my IG recently about the difference between difficult and hard, and that's really what I was speaking to, just reframing that, challenging yourself to do hard things in order to be able to handle doing difficult things. And hard stuff just how you feel. It's your perception of it. It's what you think about it. And I mean, like, I did a 4-mile run this morning at a pretty easy pace. It was hard. You feel me? It was not, it was not a challenging run. It was not a challenging workout. I didn't have to hit no times. It was just like dragging myself out of the bed, getting out there, doing it, keeping my heart rate down, like doing all of that is what made it hard. But I know one of those segments at the speed project where I'm gonna be out there at like some crazy hour at night, I'm gonna need that mental fortitude from that hard ass 4 miles that I did this morning to keep me pushing through. So like you said, man, like reframing our experiences and remember our next run will be maybe bad, but most likely better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's like the key to probably a lot of life, but like something through running you kind of see is like it's a long grind, right? Like nothing is going to happen in one day or one workout. Like you got to do it for 12, 16, 20 plus weeks, you know? So it's like, if you're going to get down on yourself after an hour of tough running and you didn't hit your times, like you're probably in the wrong sport, right? You know, you got to have like you got to like center yourself and be able to reframe it as like, hey, I might not hit the times, but I got out there. I got out of my bed. I put out effort that felt as hard as it would have been if I hit the times. And like, that's just as important.
Yeah. So there is no mile that does not count.
Exactly. Yeah. That's real. I mean, you put that on a t-shirt, like right now,
right.
You know what I'm
saying? Merch it. So I'm curious, what are you working towards? I mean, running it's kind of, there's no end, but what is currently, what are the goals?
Man, there's no end to running. That sounds bad, but it's like the best thing.
Just keep,
that's music to our ears, right?
Yeah.
So, right now doing Brooklyn half in May, which will be just trying to learn how to race and run with the big dogs. Even if I die and blow up in the race, I want to like feel what it feels like to run with those guys who can Olympic trials, you know, hit the trials qualifier. And so I feel like a shorter race allows you to do that. And like, if you die, you don't have that much left to go. Rather than if you die in a marathon, you got to like make a couple deals with God every couple miles. And then in December, we're all signed up for the Valencia Marathon in Spain. So
lit.
That'll be the big one. Yeah, that's the vibes right there.
Oh my God.
Sure. Wow.
Just saying that out loud, like just like
you going on vacation after?
So we're all like, see, it's the thing. So like this whole Capri Collective thing is like it's as much as it is like, I know it's kind of intimidating when you look at it on Strava and stuff, but like we have the pace ranges of like, we have, you know, girls who are just under 3 hours for the marathon, and then guys who are like right at their time, right at their ability, those girls level. So they all train together. And then we have, you know, a couple guys who are, you know, sub 240, mid 230s. And then like me and Brian are sub 230. But the like paces aside, it is so crazy to have so many people aligned on like the pleasures outside of running or the pleasures that like running affords. Because like the night before Ventura half, we're like drinking wine, making homemade pasta, grilling. Like one of Brian's wife is like making branzinos and like we're like dipping bread in tomato confit. It's like great. I'm like, yo, we're gonna run horrible tomorrow.
Right.
But I think it was the fact is like you're so relaxed and like you realize that like some of these things that we get so in our head about, which is like, I got to eat this certain thing or do this certain thing to perform. Like, yeah, maybe if I'm in Valencia, I'm not going to eat a bunch of like oily food before and probably not drink wine the night before. But like, I think it is like, hey, it's February in Ventura. We're an hour from home. This is a race that's meant to be like, we're going to go hard, but like, we're supposed to have some fun with it. And so like, you'll see us just like enjoying the things outside of running, like a lot more. Like, I don't know, we all met up the other night at like a wine bar, just to like do some tastings of some wines. Like Gio will host brunch at her crib and just like cook, and there'll be, you know, food, drink, cheese, wine, all this different stuff. And I don't know, it's so nice to have like a team that's like aligned on that, like doing everything outside of running. Like we were at a rave in a warehouse in LA till 4 a.m, like a couple weeks ago. And like, it was the most fun. It was Derek Carter from Chicago was playing, the house DJ. And I was like, yo, this is like a crazy good DJ. My friend just told me from Chicago, like, we got to go to this. And they were like, it doesn't start till midnight. And I was like, it's fine, yo. Like,
doesn't matter.
Fine. So, you know, like we got our run in the morning and then everybody took a little nap and did that at night. So it's cool to like connect with people outside of running and like have those like actual like friendships and bonds for like, it feels like a family, you know?
I think it's also a part of the recovery. It's like the stuff that that's not really spoken about. It's like, but breaking bread with the people that you break a sweat with, and like enjoying like the goodness and fineness of life. Like that is part of it. It's like, let's work hard, but then like, let's enjoy as well. And it's like, it's not as good when it's not with people who don't understand what you just did, like the work you just put in.
Yeah.
And I like, because we always talk about how, running creates community like no other, at least from my experience. It's like,
oh yeah,
like there's no, the relationships that I've gained through running alone is just completely different than any other relationships, like as an adult, at least. I mean, it's like, like just moving to LA and finding a running community, and like that will like kickstart you into a city and its culture, and like expose you to like new things in ways that you didn't even expect, where it's like, if you're not really a part of like, if you don't have like a hobby of some sort that gets you out and social, it's like, and like making you a better person in community, it kind of like, for me, it feels like it stagnates like my progress as a human being. Yeah.
It also like takes a lot of effort on the other end to like, what other thing brings like 75, 100, or even just 10 people at 6 a.m. together to like just hang out and talk, also do this hard work, but like afterwards, like I'm getting breakfast, getting coffee, like just like meeting these people and learning about their lives and like what they do for a living, who, what their love interests are, what kind of music they like, like where they grew up. Like I know so much about all these people just because of like hours spent on the road, but also just afterwards in coffee shops and at brunch spots, just like enjoying life. So
what did the inspiration of the Capri Club come from? Because it kind of sprouted. It seems like it sprouted out pretty recently, but correct me if I'm wrong. And then it's like, are you the designer? Are you the creative director for it?
So yeah, I do like the design for it, and then like Brian and Knox kind of like help point me in the right direction for stuff. Like we'll have an idea, I'll come up with something, and then like they'll be like, what about this? And so like they'll help me kind of like edit it down. But it was kind of a joke. So Brian and I did a workout like a year ago. It was like a 2K time trial. The air quality was horrible in LA. And so Knox called us the Wheezy Boys because we were just like coughing afterwards, like nonstop. We were just like, our chests were like on fire. And then the next workout we did was in Griffith Park, and we were just like jogging around, and I was like, yo, there's this bar opening up next to me called Capri Club. And Brian was like, yo, that'd be like a sick name for a running club. And then Knox was like, actually though, hold on, like that would be a really good name for a running club. So then jokingly, every time we met over the summer, we were calling ourselves Capri Club on Strava. We were like, Capri Club meeting up, Capri Club meeting up. Yeah. And like the joke went too far when we noticed the joke went too far when we ran like a 5K at Oxy when like Tracksmith put it on last summer in like July. And Drew Hartman from Tracksmith was like, yo, Capri Club workouts are looking crazy. Like you guys look fit. And I was like, oh, damn. People think it's real. And this is at the time also when like we started like running with more people. We started running with Gio. Maddox was running with us a little more. We started just picking up a few more people to run with. And so we're like, okay, well, we can't call it Capri Club because that's a bar that exists. So we need to like come up with a name. And then Gio was like, well, I feel like collective makes more sense because like club seems exclusive. It's like exclusionary, like terminology. And Gio's like big on feeling, like just in general, like also just
she uses the word woo.
Woo. All the woo. You gotta love Gio for that. But like so she was like, I feel like collective feels like a good word. Like it just feels like more than running, less exclusionary than club. And I think it like really resonates with like what we're trying to do and like the balance of running in life and everything in between. And so then we're like, all right, it's Capri Collective. I designed the t-shirt, which I'm literally wearing right now. Just like this shirt. And so the dude on the back is like this like 1920s Campari ad. And so it's this like little guy like sipping and a little aperitivo. There's
Mhm.
not even anything running about it. And then like the front says Corre col tempo, which like literally means run with time, to run with time. That's like the direct translation. But it actually like it's like an Italian like phrase that means to be in step with the times, or like to be on trend.
Mm.
So we like designed this little thing into like a C, and the rest is history. Like this t-shirt is like crazy. Everybody hits our DMs for it so much, but we're not making it again.
Yeah, no, I feel like it wouldn't be the same if everyone had it.
Nah, but it is cool. Like some cool
Yeah.
people have bought it. One of the band members from the band Coco
Is
Roco.
this like the running treated cat?
Oh, the running treated cap. Yo, the treated cap was crazy back in the day, though. Like,
that was
I remember,
a moment.
I wanted one of those so bad, bro. Like
Everybody did.
everybody. Oh my god, treated crew. Wow. Damn, you just took me way back. I remember like, and everybody was making like little knockoff treated caps too. Like, I feel like low key, even like the Ben Trill caps were like a treated adjacent caps, you know,
yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying? It was a little nibble, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I ain't
for
gonna
sure.
call it a bite, but it was a little nibble.
That's funny though. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it's like, so we're like, we love the tea, but we're just gonna keep it pushing and like do new shit, and hopefully people like it.
No, I love it. I love the vibes. And like I feel like this is a safe space. Some get a little weird, but like I love the way I love the word collective and the way it looks, like the way the letters sit, the way the C starts it off, and then it just comes up with the L's, drop down in it. It's something about a V and a design that I don't know. It's just striking and sexy as fuck.
Thank you. We worked like a lot on this logo. We had I work at Market, so I have like access to all these design kids. So I was like sending it to them, like, what do you think? And they were like, rough up the edges a little bit. So like they would like help me like kind of make it that final thing. But it was cool. Like everybody rocking with it made me really happy, because I was like, people could just be like, yo, what is this shirt? And not fuck with it at all. But we like made the friends and family version, started posting it on IG. We like raced a race in it, and people were like, yo, what's this shirt? What's this t-shirt? So that's cool.
It's also the colorway.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's a wild ass red.
Yeah. It's like a Ferrari red.
Yeah. Warm Red Sea.
Okay.
I know the Pantones.
Period.
Okay.
Yeah. I work in like the production, like clothing world. So I'm like, oh, I know how to do it. That's the nice thing. Sometimes I'm like, yo, I don't know if these Capri fools realize that like I can make tech packs, vectors, like all this shit. Like it's nice to have like the skills to do it, because I know that like for run clubs without resources, it could be hard to like design. And I helped out LA Saves Track on their like the like most recent fundraiser hoodie and stuff. But I'm always just like, yo, if anybody needs help with design stuff, you got an idea, like send it my way.
Say less.
So for real, like I'm down to help out, you know.
That's real, because like that is something, like getting into creating a merch and stuff like that. Like me and Aaron have so many like dope ideas, but being able to bring it to life in like a really unique and personal way is like very, very tough for us and stuff like that, because we hit this wall where it's like, okay, my skills don't match up with my creativity.
Yeah.
And so like now I gotta dumb this down to get it on this shirt to make it happen.
It's hard. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and it's hard. It's hard for me like to get it from where it's at in my head to actually printable version. So it just takes time, and then patience, and you know, if y'all need help ever, let me know. I'm never like I'm never like out here taxing the homies on anything. I'm like, throw me a t-shirt, you know.
Just make sure I get one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like, so you're a Bandit runner.
I am. I just re-signed with them for 2023. So
yeah. Well, I mean that like we've talked about Bandit a couple times. It's available in Last Lab, at least the last time I was there, which was a while ago. But you know, it's like it's growing. How do you like being one of the runners? Like, tell me about it.
So I mean, I love it. I ran. So I know Tim Rossi from Nike Days.
Yeah.
And I'm sure y'all know Rossi as well. He's like
the guy.
the mayor of community running, right? He's just like
Yes.
everywhere you go, everyone knows Rossi. Yeah. And it's also like, so I told one of my buddies, I was like, since I was in Chicago, like Rossi and the Nike Chicago team were like, have held me down endlessly. Like if I needed gear, if I needed running shoes, if I needed a bib, like they had me. But also like they would just connect me with like Gumbo Fit to do like some community activation stuff and like just like keep me involved. Like, you know, I did some like volunteer work with Chicago Run with them and like all this stuff. And so they kind of helped me stay plugged into running in a way that I think without it, I would have struggled to do on my own. And so when he jumped to Bandit and was like, yo, you want to run Speed Project with this new company Bandit? I was like, I don't know what that is, but say less. Like I'm with it. And then and then he said Finley was also a part of it. And I had met him like I think once at like a event in Chicago, but I had like the best time. They took care of us so well at the Speed Project last year. Insane race. Yo, you're doing it. So have you done it before?
No, this is gonna be my first year running it. Courtney's coming to crew us, so it's
hell yeah.
We both gonna be down there.
And I'm about to drive. That's
it's the time. I think it's like the best time I've had running.
Really,
ever.
Really.
One, it's like ultimate trauma bonding, like
for sure.
Like you and everybody involved are instantly like family because
for life
you're spending so much time in these like treacherous conditions together. But also it's just like an amazing achievement. Like I think I did 63 miles in 30 hours or whatever, and like
wow,
I never been so tired, but also just like so hype for everybody that did it with me. Like
wow.
So
how many people were on your team?
So we had 6. It was Allison Lynch, Ali Iacarino, who also is a Bandit designer, Evan Schwartz, Sean Grossman, and John Rice, and then myself. But about like Evan Schwartz is an OTQ runner or OTQ marathoner, and he got hurt like halfway through, and so could like barely run. Damn. And then I think like 3/4 of the way through, with maybe like 50 or 60 miles to go, Allison Lynch got hurt. So we like closed the race in the last like 40 or 50 miles with 4 people.
What?
And it was rough. It was tough.
Whoa.
It was crazy. It was wild. We're like coming down out of the mountain with 4 of us in the Jeep, and we're just like, all right, we're all gonna run like 800-meter segments. We're just gonna fly. And like in between, I remember like John Rice, who like loved this kid to death. He's like a ex steeplechaser from University of Texas. Kids like drinking orange juice straight out of like the jug while simultaneously like hitting himself with the massage gun because he's cramping up, and he's just like, let's go, let's get it. And I think it's like a crazy experience because you just have to do anything to keep your body going. So like my routine was like, we do our little 2-3 hour stint. I'd hop in the boots for 15 minutes. I'd take like a cold shower because the like RV has a shower, and then I would just stretch and like try to sleep, but I never slept. I never got to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't think there really is sleeping in these like ultra adventure racing.
Too much adrenaline.
What? And everything. And you're in a moving vehicle. Yeah. Like the sun's up, the sun's down. There's lights in your face. Oh, yeah. There's people moving around. I mean, you can like get shut eye. You can get some shut eye.
I definitely like. So the first time I like got close to sleeping was when Allison got hurt. And so like I was about to fall asleep, and like it was like pretty much all 3 of us the first time we had actually like shut our eyes, and all of a sudden the lights go on. They're like, she's hurt. We're turning around. We're meeting them early. Get ready to run. And we're all just like, I looked at Dave Hashim with like hate in my heart. I was like, why are you doing this to me, bro? But like, I did it. You know, I got out the car, I ran, and it was no problem. But at the time, I was pretty upset.
Do you like ultra relay adventure racing? Like, do you want to do more of it? Have you done Hood to Coast? Like, it's the first and only one. Like, what have you done?
I did Hood to Coast last year too, with LA Saves Track, and that one I had COVID. I didn't know.
Oh my God.
So like I woke up the morning of the
whole
race.
team out.
Really
well,
though, I
damn.
really did, bro.
Just fucked the whole team up then.
So I like woke up in the morning and I had this like stuff runny nose. I'm like, damn, bad day to get a cold, and it just wouldn't go away. So like 15 minutes before we're supposed to leave for the race, I'm like, yo, Chloe, I'm taking one of the cars. I'm going to CVS to get a neti pot. So I go get a neti pot. I do the neti pot.
Not
like,
a COVID test.
No, not a COVID test. It's race day. What do you mean?
We don't need to know this.
Yeah, I don't need to know.
Useless
No,
information.
I'm like,
I'm gonna go get a neti pot.
I'm like, cold still exists. Like it's a real thing. So, anyways,
Yes.
I do the neti pot, whatever. I take a Sudafed 12-hour, and I'm like, it worked. My sinuses are dry. COVID can't be beat by a neti pot and a Sudafed, right? So I ran the whole race, and like it was fine. But then when I got home, I tested immediately, and I was super positive for COVID. Like I'd never seen a test turn so fast. It was like a black line. So, but I ran fine. Like I ran well. I think I set the course record on one of the segments.
Damn.
Fire.
Segment like 12 or something like that in the middle of the night. But
Fire.
it was like I loved it. I love those races. It's like it's more like pure will and determination than anything, but also just like love being in those situations. So I was telling the bandit people, I was like, yo, if y'all run Speed Project again, because what happened was we were supposed to like be a team that was like a non-pro team that could be on or ultra. And so like our pace per mile was the fastest in the race, but we ran like 21 extra miles. And so essentially what happened was they thought they had found a shortcut.
You're talking about TSP because Hood to Coast is sanctioned and it's a route.
TSP.
Okay.
So the bandit folks thought they just found a shortcut. And what they told us going into the shortcut, they were like, we're going to come out of this neck and neck with on an ultra, or we're going to be out of the race. And we came out, we were 20 miles behind. And there's no making that up when like you got crazy runners on their teams. But yeah, that was like rough. But I was telling them, I was like, yo, if you guys go back, like put some money down. Like anybody who wants to meet us on the OG route, 340 miles, come see us. Put your money where your mouth is.
Put your money where your mouth is.
I'm about that action, yo. I'm like, yo, forget all these shortcuts. I'm like, come race us like mile for mile, bar for bar. So who knows if they'll do that, but that was a fun
I don't know. Capri Collective could just, you could do that. I feel like you have a lot of different opportunities to be a lot of different. You know what I mean?
He's anti-speed project. He's more traditional races.
Okay. Well, Speed Project is supposedly doing one in Chile.
Yeah.
And that's pretty insane.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah. My hope is that we're there.
Oh yeah. That'd be crazy.
I mean? Yeah. We need to be there. I don't care. I'll crew. I applied to it for like Gubbo Fit, obviously. I know several studies got there. Like I'm trying to be there. I actually studied abroad in Chile when I was in high school. And I'm like, I haven't been back since. And I would love for this to be
that'd be crazy.
My like comeback trip. It's a beautiful country. And that's not where we're gonna be at though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where are you gonna be, and then where's like how long is the race? Is it 300 miles still, 340 miles, or
it might be more? It might be even more. Like, because I consider this shit like adventure racing, because there's so many different elements in it. I mean, obviously it's an ultra relay, but like that shit is. I mean, there's so many different. There's just so many things to consider.
Yeah.
But would love for Chicago, people to be there.
We pulling up some kind of way.
Some kind of way.
Crazy.
Gonna be there.
But get through Vegas first, because that's soon. That is so soon. That's like
it's in a couple weeks. And you know what's the other crazy part is we try to figure out how to do that last like 20 miles into Vegas, because not only is this a Sunday night, which is the weekends, probably traffic gonna be bad, it's probably gonna be busting, but also Taylor Swift is doing a concert that week all weekend.
Is she on residency?
I think it's part of her tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But she will be there. So the weekend is gonna be cracking. And so like I feel like we think we're gonna be able to switch out runners once we get into the city. What I'm afraid of is whoever enters the city is just gonna be in the city running. because it's just gonna be
Well,
hard.
it's like you go
pull
down
over.
you go down like the strip, but you don't ever actually get to like the main part of the city. So you're like running past like gas stations and housing divisions and stuff to end it, and then to the Vegas sign. So what we essentially did was just like our Jeep, the four of us would like, one would get out. You might have to cross a couple stop signs or stoplights and stuff, but we just like had someone pull into the gas station, and that's where you met them. You go into the gas station, one runner gets out, runs for, I think we were doing like 800 meters. I think my last leg was like a mile, and then the whole team jogged it in together. But you can find little spots to like break off, because
I'm worried about like traffic jams where the runner might be actually faster.
yeah.
I feel like it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like, cross that bridge when you get there. You gotta go. You gotta go 300 miles before you get to that point.
Yeah,
So,
we know how to deal with this shit.
It's the
what's 300, bro? What's 300, bro?
Listen, I fucking love it, bro. Like, I can't. This is my first time in LA. It's my first time in Vegas. First time doing all of that shit. I can't wait to come to your side of the town, see what it is. Definitely want to get up with you.
Of course, yeah.
Before we take off, before we cross the start line. I don't know. Courtney has introduced me to the LA running scene, and what y'all doing out there is like fire. It's really
trying to build
really
some culture,
cool. Right? It's like all loosey and like spiritual, and it's like fucking fire, bro.
I mean, that's like it just happened naturally, which is nice, because I think this is how I want running to be in my life.
Yeah.
Going forward, like this is just how I want to approach it. So yeah, when you're out here, like definitely miles in, or just like food, wine, like Gio knows every best spot in the entire city, so she'll take us somewhere delicious to eat and drink. So yeah, we'll get you right. And it's going to be a crazy week because LA Marathon's the week before, so you got a whole week of just like crazy running festivities, which should be really fun. So I'm excited. It's going to be like, these next couple weeks in LA are going to be really exciting, because I think it's the start of like building more running culture out here. Because before, I mean, not before Capri, but I feel like before, like Good Vibes obviously has this like crazy big culture that they've created in like Crenshaw district and stuff. And, there's other run clubs popping up too, but like, this is the first time I felt like, and like this, Gio and Knox will attest this, but this is the first time I felt like a lot of momentum in LA in like the last year at least. So LA is not a city where people talk about running, even though it has such rich running history, like Olympics and all these, crazy records, like it's just not a place where people talk about running outside of like, there's like big records that have been done on tracks here. But
I think part of that is too, because there's like as far as marathons go, it's not one of like I'm losing the term, but like the what is it, the 5, the 6, the main,
like majors,
the majors, major. Exactly. Like there's no major here. It's like I've also, people would say things before I moved out here about like how a lot of it was about, mostly about looks and not about the vibe or like the long-term benefit. It's LA has people look at it sometimes and be like, people just want to look good and look pretty and it's like seem like they're doing something and it's really nothing. And it's like, I get it. It's very LA.
But I mean, you see like the marketing even like Nike running LA is a lot of like influencer marketing, or like, here's my first 5K. But like Chicago, like I loved it because it was like so much just like true community. I mean, it's still obviously it's still marketing, but like you're like tapping in with Gumbo Fit, tapping in with Chicago Run, like just giving opportunities to like young kids and also just people to like learn about running and like get into running. And so I don't know, even like when you guys were doing the photography program and I was like helping out a little bit, like for those 2 little stints, it was so cool to see those kids get so excited to just like shoot photos for runners. Cause like who gets excited for that besides maybe other runners? But like, these kids were like out in the rain on the track, like taking photos because that was like, they were just getting this crazy opportunity, So I loved the programming that they were doing in Chicago, just because it felt like really actually supportive of community.
Yeah, true. Do you want to are you trying to qualify for the Olympics at all? Like, is that in the back of your head?
I mean, I think ultimate goal would just be like, go to the trials. My mom qualified for the trials way back in the day. and had a baby and didn't get to go. So
Are you that baby?
no, I don't think so. I think it's my big sister, and it's not
Okay.
it's not any baby's fault, but
It's not any baby's fault.
nothing was stopped. My mom ran with me like 6 months pregnant. Ran a half marathon with me, so
That's goals.
This is in you.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's literally
like
in my blood. Like it's in my DNA.
Yes.
So,
Right. Do you
yeah.
run races with your mom now? Do you want to run races with her? Like,
I would love to do like a speed project or something with my mom.
that'd be sick.
That'd be so cool. But nah, I mean, we've run the same races, and like we'll do like the holiday, like we used to do the Thanksgiving trot all the time together and stuff like that. But when I was younger, we did a lot more. She's got this, she used to be a lot faster, but she's had this like Achilles issue these past couple of years that's like nagging and won't go away. So
right,
she's kind of like running maybe like 4 to 8 miles a day, sometimes 10
a day.
Yeah. And then she'll also cycle for like 2 hours on those days.
God damn.
Like,
how
my
old
mom
is
is my mom is like 57. She's born in 65. So
you made it sound like she was like trotting along and not really doing much, but
oh no, my mom is fit. No. My mom is fit. It's crazy. My mom is like, my mom's a superhuman.
Jesus.
It's not right.
I
She's
mean, but
always
it's
been
where
this way.
we all want to be.
Yeah,
it's what we all want to be.
I remember winter of 2016 going into 2017. I was like doing this build up to 100 miles, and she was like, "I'll do that with you." And so I was in Chicago. She's in Indiana. She's like, "I got 80 this week." I was like, "I got 80 this week." I'd be like, "I got 85." She's like, "I got 90." I was like, "I got 90." She's like, "I got 94." And I'm like, damn. And then I was like, "I got 100." She's like, "I got 100." Then we went like bar for bar 3 weeks in a row, 100, 100, 100, just like crazy. And like,
Wow.
that is fucking fire.
Wild. I remember when I was young though, she'd be running like 100-mile weeks like it was nothing. Yeah, she's a wild woman. But she's won like the Indianapolis mini marathon. Like she's a mad woman,
That's inspiration right there. Wow. We need to have your mom on.
I know, like literally. Yeah, I mean, she was the one like that got me into it all. Like I've just been around it my whole life. Like that's one of the reasons like Knox and I have connected so well is we both have like old school running background. Like he ran at Wake Forest way back in the day. I ran in college, but also like my mom was a college coach for 25 years. And so when I was young, I was going to the Lakefront Classic in Chicago, the Loyola Classic in Chicago. I think it was like Sean Earl, whatever. Like I was going and watching that. And then I was going to like track meets, indoor track meets, like all this stuff. And I just been around it like my whole life, like track and running. And so I didn't want to do it when I was young. I'm from Indiana, so I had hoop dreams. And so even my first year, of college, I was a walk-on, but I transferred schools before the season because I went to a really religious school and I didn't really jive with the running squad.
Word, facts.
And so I went to a different school and they were too good at basketball. No way I was walking onto that team. They were like rated, they were like number 1 Division II at one point, and I was like, not even gonna try. And it was for the better because I got better at running. But yeah, I was like still to like when I was like 19, holding on to hoop dreams. At the time I was like 5'10, like 5'10 Korean kid. Like what's the opportunity for that? So, I don't know. Not much.
We hanging on. You still hoop?
Yeah, I mean, like I play like with my homie down the street. We'll meet up at Occidental College and just shoot around, play some 1-on-1, but nothing crazy. I don't get in like any men's leagues. Although I would. If somebody asked me, I definitely would.
Oh my God.
Listen,
bro. I mean, Courtney, you got anything else for my man?
No, but we'll have you back on because I do have other questions.
I could talk all day.
Yeah, because I also know you're gluten-free. And so I be wanting to know runners' diets and shit and how it affects their performance and all of that. But, save for another time.
All right, cool.
So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. This was really informative. And I like just about you and about all the things that you bring to running and like why you do it. And I just think like, thank you. Like this very
same to y'all. Like the reason I love running so much now is because of like stuff that y'all have built and are continuing to build. And like, I want to be a part of that. Like, I want to be a part of like the movement of running that's beyond just running, you know, that's like holistic in its whole life. It's not just like what happens when we're lacing up the running shoes, but everything that happens before and after. So like, I think y'all too, like for sure.
When is that the marathon in Spain? Is that where?
Oh, December like 4th, I think.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's a while away.
Yeah, we like to catch people. Well, we just like to at least catch people after like big races and things like that. Like, you know, this like, yeah, I'm always curious about what big thing is happening because we love to hear a good story because those are good experiences.
Yeah, let's hope it's good.
Yeah. And if it's not good, it'll be a good story. Like, it's fine. Like, yeah.
I'm good about. Like I've written about running a couple of times. I did these little things, like they're called like footnotes. I did them on Strava for a couple of races, but 2021 Chicago, I don't know if y'all were out there, but it was hot and horrible. And like, I wrote about that, and like, that helped me a lot. Just like being able to like reframe it. So like talking about it, writing about it, like talking about running is just nice because you like gain perspective by like talking to yourself and then talking to other people about it, you know?
And sharing the fact that like you're a human being and shit happens.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause especially with people who are like you that are a lot faster, people just assume that every race goes well. And I remember I read those, and I like, it was a while ago, so it's not front of mind, but like, I remember you putting that out, and it was very much just like here's where my mind's at. It almost felt like you didn't even edit it. It was just like, here it is.
I think I just like did a spelling check on it on like Grammarly. Like I literally was like, yo, like, is this all spelled right? Like, I'm just going to put it out. And like, I think me putting it out is like me being like, all right, I'm past this race. I've learned about it. I've learned about myself, and like, we're going to move on.
I think that's something that I've also recognized within the whole Capri Collective, like just following you all on Instagram. I've noticed that you all are very like introspective and like to reflect. Like Knox will write his long like captions, and like Gio will have stuff, and then like Stratomatic will have a lot of like quotes, and then like you can all tell that you guys are always like thinking, reflecting, and then applying it back to like running and in life.
There's like Knox before a run gave us all like a poetry book from this guy who's a runner. It's called Poverty Creek Journal, and it's just like, it's kind of mundane but like beautiful in that like this I forget the author, but I've been like reading through it slowly. It's just like essentially journal entries and poems about runs, and like he'll just be like, went on a run today, this, that, and the other. But everyone's like Gio will give us readings before races and workouts sometime, and after every single workout, Knox wants to know the session notes, how you felt, how you reacted to the different kinds of work, how the legs felt, like just anything that like had an effect. Like, he wants to know the notes. And then like the rest of the group now does too. Like, everyone is like, yo, like I felt like that too, or it's okay, I felt like that last week. Like, you know, you're going to bounce back. It's just, you know, so it's nice to like really have that kind of like feedback, and then also a place to put it all like on a micro level, just like, here's what happened for this run or this workout, you know? So,
all right. So tell the people where they can find you on social.
Instagram. I deleted Twitter. It's too much. I was doom scrolling. Instagram, just at Kam Casey. And then on these streets of East Side LA, you'll see me running around the block. But yeah, like, if anyone's in LA and you want to get some miles in and you want to come see what Capri is about, I've been trying to get Courtney out. I know it's intimidating at times, but I think even just like one of these runs soon, we'll get up and we'll all just like get some nice miles in and like meet and have food and just enjoy it, you know?
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared, but I'm also I'm the type of person that goes straight into whatever I'm scared of. Let me just do this marathon and heal my shins and
you're doing LA?
Good. Yeah, like I'm running LA. Yeah,
we'll be out there cheering, all of us. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be just like you might catch me in a little run walk situation because I push a little too hard, but I'm still figuring out how I'm running, how I'm pacing myself, how I'm pushing myself. yourself. And I definitely do want to join you, even if, I'm left behind. I want to feel it.
It's never like a left behind
Capri
situation.
Collective.
Yeah. There's always like a range, and it's always like, I'm a big person on like meeting running where you're at right now in this moment. Like, you just can't go. When you try to go beyond that, that's when you get hurt, or when you like break yourself down mentally. So
I love that.
Kind of how you have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we can do another 20 minutes on that.
I know, bro. I'm like,
I'm ready.
Let's go. But
let's go. The Speed Project is giving me the opportunity. Faster runners. I'm behind.
I'm so excited to see you
catching up.
do that, bro.
It's
gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be fucking wild.
I'm gonna be following along. It's a movie. It's gonna be a movie.
It's gonna be a movie.
You know
we're gonna shoot it. It's gonna be on IG. It's gonna be on YouTube. It's going to be a movie. I am ready to dig deep down inside and pull whatever it is down there back out of it. Like, I feel like this is 2018. This is my first marathon. I don't know what the fuck I've gotten myself into. I just know I'm going to start. I'm going to finish that shit. Like,
that's right. That's literally all you have to know. Everything that happens in between, that's between you, your teammates, and like God. Like, that's it.
Yes.
Like, whoever you're making deals with in the desert, like, that's between y'all.
That's fucking go. That's fucking go. Listen, Cam, appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. You're going to be back on very soon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Y'all say bye to Cam. All
right. I'll see y'all in LA.
Be right back.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Peace. Wow, what a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My expectations were met. Cool as shit. Love the energy.
Shit. Yeah,
love the
energy
vibes.
there. Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a good conversation, man.
Cam is good people. And he's humble and very talented. And I think I just really feel like he sees the best in people. Even him like reaching out to me to like come run with, the collective, like means a lot to me. Cause it's like, I know he be seeing my minutes per mile. On Strava. I know he be peeping. He might not, but also I'm just like, my nigga, do you not see how I be running? And you're asking me to come, so but that to me tells me that he sees the best in people and can see them exceed their own expectations, I think. So having him on. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I don't. I wish I would have said this when he was here, because I hate saying like negative things and then the person doesn't be there. But I honestly, this ain't even negative. I'm thinking out loud and I need to shut the fuck up and just say what I was to say. But to looking at the Capri Collective, cause it's through the background of LA, I was thinking clout situation and stuff like that. But then after speaking to him and hearing what he's doing in it, hearing how all of them are moving within that space and stuff like that, like, no, like, this isn't like just like a bunch of, like, quote unquote famous runners running together, looking mad cool, doing all of this. Like, no, like, it is a collective. Like, it is a bunch of like-minded people sharing space in this sport and adjacent to this sport. And I think it's beautiful. And I think that's also one of the reasons why, someone like you would get asked and stuff like that. Like, you might not necessarily meet the requirements for speed per se, but you definitely meet the requirements for like just being at the function. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Just the
I can
vibe,
contribute to the vibe.
Up, and everything else will come. So like I get that. It ain't just I want Courtney from Gumbo. I need the Courtney Phillips and stuff like that. It's like, nah, this motherfucker would fit in. She would match the vibes that we have, and she would add to it and stuff like that, which is facts.
Thanks, Ian.
But that nigga fast.
Yeah, that nigga real fast.
All fast. He was like, yeah, we just come out here and do these 5, something, da da da. 5.
Woo!
5.
Woo!
Excuse me?
Excuse me, sir. Come again?
Yes. Like, who are we talking to? Who are we talking about?
Honestly, I love it. I love the way people who are in that zone, that speed, that caliber of running speak sometimes. I think it's sexy as hell. I'm like, yes. talk to me about these repeats and these paces, and because it just rolls off the tongue. It's easy, you know. It's just part of them, and I really admire it. And it's yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. I could just wow.
I love it.
Yeah. So what's going on, Ian? What's going on in your life?
I mean, I'm like you before we got on here. I need to close certain windows so shit does not pop up in front of me. Cause now I'm freaking out. Okay.
I purposely, before we record, I close down my Outlook. I make sure that there is no tab that has because I have an Outlook like business email, and then I have a Google email, and I'm like, it all needs to shut down. Slack, shut down. Okay.
Yeah.
WhatsApp,
Yeah.
shut
I
down.
really wish I did not see this text
All of it,
message.
yeah, all the things need to be shut down because I can't have the distraction. I'll come back to in a few. But
Mhm.
ultimately, I mean, it seems like now that I'm on the crew for TSP and I'm a driver, I'm glad that like I'm asking you about what's going on, but I also can I already kind of know because I
Yeah.
now I'm
I
in the
mean,
loop.
it's that listen, this shit don't stop doing things. You know what I'm saying? Like
You're also
there's
the main person putting it together, or one of the main persons putting it together. So there's a lot of behind the scenes.
oh yeah. Big. I will say like yes, I'm playing a leadership role. I'm playing a project managerial role and stuff like that. But I mean, like I would be nowhere without Gabe. To be perfectly honest with you, you
Mhm.
know, like, and this is probably reductive to like the team and stuff like that. But for me personally, like I would be nowhere without Gabe, like really stepping up to my interactions with him, us having these conversations and him stepping up, you know, to the plate and stuff like that. You know, that doesn't take away from any of the other work that the rest of the team and everybody's doing. I just know I'm having more interactions with Gabe personally, and
Mhm.
those interactions have been saving me from being completely stressed out and fucking losing hair over planning this speed project and stuff like that. And I mean, we got a crazy thing that just happened that I might have I finally I do have a solution for. I have two solutions for it right now and stuff. But it was like that that 24 hours was crazy. And then the window that was just popped up, something else just happened. And here we are 2 weeks away. So
Yeah.
like I cannot wait. I'm excited for the speed project to start. I'm also excited for it to end.
Yep. Yep.
Just as excited. Like, because it's the it, planning something of this magnitude has been uh has taught me a lot about myself and stuff like that. Like I've done a lot of smaller projects, planned a lot of events and programming and all of this stuff. But like this might be the first thing that I feel like truly had. Like even last summer when I was planning events with Nike for the entire summer doesn't feel like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like the stakes are a little bit higher because people are putting their bodies on the line and things like that. So, making safety and all of these things are all encompassing in planning this race.
Mhm.
But we're at a good place. You coming on. I trust for me as a leader, I feel so good to have somebody that I truly trust in a leadership role not to be running and stuff like that. Because everybody that I have that same level of trust for is
Is
running.
running. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that once again does not take away from Nez, does not take away from Denise and stuff like that. What they have, what they give, what they offer is amazing. I just have never had like that kind of working relationship with them and stuff like that. So this is my first time that I get to see them actually operate and do things. With
Mhm.
you, I have a history. With Rosalie, I have a history. With Gabe, I have a history. With Aaron, I have a history. Same with Ken. They're all running. So
Yeah.
it's like we're all going to at some point we're all going to at some point get to a place where we are not going to want to make decisions, or for some of us might be incapable of making sound choices and decisions. I'm going to be on. That's how
Yeah.
I operate. I don't turn off. Once you flip the switch, we're going. Running, leading, all of this shit, I am fucking on for 40, hopefully less than 40 hours.
Yeah.
And but that's the shit that excites me. Like I live for that, you know. But having this team, having everybody that are in position makes me feel so much more comfortable than I was maybe 2 months ago going into this race. And niggas is gonna get miles.
Miles. Yeah. How many
Miles.
miles per runner are you guys expecting or planning for? Because like Cam said, you never know what can happen.
You never know. I mean, so going into this, we planned for 30 miles on each person.
Okay.
Split between 2 days. So everybody will run 30 miles split between 2 days. There have been things that have been happening and things that have been coming up that might 2x that number,
Yeah.
1 or 2x that number. And so we just don't know. We just don't know until we get out there. People can get hurt, things can happen. My feet have been getting numb while I'm running, and I've been keeping my mouth pretty low, pretty reserved. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm not going out here to race. I'm not going out here to go fast. I'm just been really just focusing on building my aerobic base and making sure that when it comes time, I can just go. You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Um, so my mouths haven't been crazy high, but like these last few runs, my feet been getting numb. It's been feeling a little weird and stuff like that. I know other people like no almost nobody went to the track workout this last Monday. And it's
Yeah.
because everybody was like, I need to recover, I need to chill, I need to bring it back down and stuff like that. Because I think everybody's just getting to that point where like in marathon training, it's just like anything can happen to you right now. But because we don't get a medal, because we're not racing for time, people are, making what would be a hard decision and saying, "Hey, I am not coming today," which I love. That really makes me feel good going into this. One of our runners is injured. They are coming into this with an injury. Their intention is to still be strong, still be a fucking force, get these miles, as many miles as they can, and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. But even knowing that they're coming with some kind of injury that's going to greatly impact their mileage and maybe even stop them from running altogether, I'm hearing more miles for me, more miles for every runner. So
Yeah.
it could definitely be more than 15 miles a day.
Damn. Okay. And when you say a day, though, like I feel like people should know that that's not 48 hours. It's like, what's the time you
So
guys?
we start the run at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
at Santa Monica Pier, whatever it is, at 4 a.m. on Friday. Our goal is to get to the Welcome to Vegas sign, whatever that is on the strip, that Vegas sign on the strip, by 7, 8 p.m. on Sunday night. Wait,
So
that
wait,
don't
how
sound
many
right.
hours are you planning on? What is the expected hours?
The
Like
expected hours
totally.
for us to finish within about 40, 45 hours. So
Okay, so
we'll start Friday. So
it is
Saturday night.
almost
I'm
two
sorry.
days. Yeah.
Saturday night. Yeah,
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Um,
Because Sunday is the pool party.
period. But then you know what I'm saying? I'm excited to party. But then when I mentioned it, everyone was like, I think I'm gonna be too tired. And I'm like, okay.
You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
you know,
All right, party
I don't want to
poopers.
put my foot in my mouth, but we're all learning a lot about each other.
Yeah.
And this, I feel like people are people talk shit. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like they shit talkers, and shit talking ain't always, yeah, I'm gonna go out here and do all of this. Sometimes shit talking is always like, oh, I don't really know. Oh, I don't think I can do that. Oh. These motherfuckers, everybody finna be out here running, getting
Right.
these miles, eating whatever.
The
Cause like,
fuck. Yeah.
oh my God, don't even let me get into the menu right now. Like the food situation is like
Yeah.
stressing me out.
Yeah.
But people gonna eat what they gonna eat.
They can't have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
They
I mean, because
Go to YouTube.
what exactly
Just go
do you
to
want
YouTube and see my face.
What? Because my point is what exactly do you think is going to be like something that you want to eat in the middle of a race? I could barely I remember, and I'm not trying to completely derail what you're saying, but like when we were running Hood to Coast, I remember Mike popped up in the car with a whole ass motherfucking cheeseburger. I said, nigga, where did you get that from? Okay. How? From where? Like, we've been eating peanut butter sandwiches this whole time, and now you want to pop up with a motherfucking burger.
Listen,
I was distressed. I was pissed. But at the same time, it's like I could not swallow anything. Eating was so hard. I shoved a hard-boiled egg down my throat at one point, and that was it.
Listen, there's 2 items. I'm gonna say this, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to whoever I offend. This is my safe space. Turn the podcast off.
This is not.
There's 2 items. Okay, there's 2 things. Because Karen is on the planning team for the menu and stuff like that. I'll deal with that blowback. So I'm in the house while this conversation is being had. Frozen burritos and spaghetti with sauce and meatballs.
How? Who's making
what
that?
What are we doing here? I mean,
Who's
I know like people are gonna be down for like 6 hours at a time. Per our plan that we have going into this, you're gonna have 5 to 6 hours of rest time here and there. But
nah, eat a sandwich.
Spaghetti and meatballs and frozen burrito. I'm like,
nah.
Who would put that on any? I'm like, what are y'all talking about? No.
That's wild.
Not at all.
Whoa.
Not at all, man. No.
I mean, I guess
not to mention how much do frozen burritos cost.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, is there a microwave on the van?
No, we can. All of this stuff we can a lot of this stuff we can pre-make, and all of the stuff on the list we can do on the van. The van has a nice size fridge. It has an oven. You feel me? It has a microwave. It has a stove. Like nobody's if anybody touches the oven, we fist fighting. We fighting. Ain't nobody turning on the oven in the middle of the desert. I swear to God. I swear, if Karen touches the oven, I'm putting her ass in a figure 4. Hands down. Hands down. Sharpshooter if she touches the oven in the middle of the desert. Yeah, I'm going to tickle her to death. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I would just go ahead and get you some natural peanut butter, no sugar added, some quality bread, put them 2 pieces together and call it a day.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. Like, I am down for variety. It just where it makes sense. You know, like I know we're going to be doing this for like 2 days. People have a hard time eating the same thing. So like we want to have variety, but like make it make sense. Maybe
I understand like ramen, you could bring a kettle and then pour, because then that's salt, like, and then you're getting some carbs in there and salt and stuff. But it's like, what exactly?
If I eat a frozen burrito and sit on the couch, I'm going to be shitting all night. How am I going to eat a frozen burrito and go run?
Fuck no.
Who is doing that? Who wants to do that to us? That's assault.
That is evil. That's fucking
Because where you gonna want to put that burrito after you put it in you? Where you gonna want to put it? In the RV.
Right. And we all on the RV. All of us are on the RV. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Not that. Yep. Nope. Get some bananas, Yeah, bananas, peanut butter bread, and some fucking ramen. And then some like protein powder, maybe. Mix that shit up. Like,
what are we doing?
Yeah, bro. We're racing. We're not sitting down to dinner. Like, nope.
Oh my God. But you know, I'm gracious because also like if they weren't doing this, that would be another thing for me to do. So thank you. I appreciate the food team. Like y'all are awesome. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
I hope this comes out after TSP, actually, now that I think about it.
It probably will. It probably will. At the rate that I'm releasing episodes. Because I'd be late.
But no, it's cool. We are in it. It feels good. I had my time to ramble to go on with that. Training's going well. I feel like I'm ready. Let's talk about you. Because I can go on about this speed project shit. Like, tell me. LA is also around the corner.
Yeah. I like I'm really trying to go by feel. I've been hopping on the bike. Actually, no, I'm not. Let me keep it real with you because I got a little defeated with my recovery. I told you about that last week. And then it just kind of like continued. It kind of escalated a little bit. And I was just like, I don't want to do shit. I don't want to massage shit. I don't want to put a heat pad on shit. Like, and so yeah, but then I woke up this week and I decided that I was going to just hop back on the horse. So, hopped on a bike, started cycling again. I'm getting my heart rate up and getting some cardio in. I've yet to find a pool that I really like. Like I go to LA Fitness. So like and there's a lot around in LA. So I'm kind of figuring out the ones I like the most. And then I have Class Pass. So I've been doing a lot of, hot yoga and like Pilates, which I've mentioned before. So I'm keeping it easy. And I've realized again, and I've said this many times on here, I am not racing. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I signed up for this race to just find myself in the LA running community. And like, I guess suss it out is not at all what I'm trying to say, but that's kind of the only thing that's coming to mind. I'm like, I found a really dope fitness initiative, joined them, been training with them. I've ran with Good Vibes. I've like, I'm like, and because of this podcast, it's like and because of just my actual genuine interest in running and just like moving my body and everything, it's like, this is what I can't not do it. I'm addicted to it. It's like my personal, like fucking, it's my calling.
Yeah. Facts.
I can't not do it. So I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to fill my time? Oh, maybe I'll just run a marathon, like train for a marathon. So like, that's where I'm at. I don't feel 100%. I don't feel my best. I really wanted to get closer to a sub 4-hour marathon. My first marathon was 4 hours, 45 minutes. Which, whatever, like that I'm just like, that's where I'm at. And yeah, I want to get in the threes. Like I really want to get really start to chop down that time. But I'm realizing in this training that I don't quite understand. I don't fully know how to listen to my body yet. I'm such a new runner still. Like I get like, yeah, my first marathon was in 2019, but I also like started running in 2019.
Yeah.
Like
facts.
I am very new to running still. Obsessed with it, yes, but I'm still like very new when it comes to me and my relationship with running and my legs and maintaining my fitness and knowing when to rest and how to recover properly, et cetera, et cetera. So like this training cycle really showed me like where I can improve, where in that I don't have it all figured out. And I want to learn, like I'm in a place where I just really want to learn more and just get better and like really see what my potential is in this time in my life. Because and to take that learned knowledge into the rest of my life so that I can continue to be a runner forever. Like, that's what I want for myself. I want to be that 85-year-old woman who's running marathons. That's my life goal.
Big facts. Big facts.
But in order to do that, I need to figure a lot of shit out right now. Like this is,
and we all figuring it out right now in real time in front of everybody else. So like someone like Cam or Knox or like some of our friends who've been running they've been running for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like they've been running since high school. They've been figuring out their body in this sport for if they're our age, at minimum 15 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot to learn. I feel like a baby sometimes. And that's okay. In addition to all of that, I got married on Friday.
Oh, you said it. Oh.
Because like at this point, we're going to post about it by the time this shit comes out. So like, I got me and Matthew, like we've been together for about 9.5 years. We were engaged for almost 5 of those years. And like, we're all about like, just go on on our own time and do our relationship the way we want to do our relationship. And like, we got engaged in LA. And and we didn't even know we were going to move to LA when that happened. So it's just a very full circle. And we decided to go to the courthouse and do it and just make it a super intimate thing. It was literally me, Matthew, his sister's fiance, and Chrissy, our photographer, who is a part of the Gummo Media team. And she's been our creative director for a very long time. She's super, super fucking dope. And it was just like, it was one of those moments where I was like, yeah, it would have been really awkward if we had a photographer we didn't know. Like, I don't know how y'all do it in a moment that's like so like intimate and personal. And so it felt like it was all family and it was just the five of us. And we went to Santa Barbara, which is just like about like 90 miles north from LA. And it's like super gorgeous. Oprah's house is like in the suburb of Santa Barbara, like just right there. You know what I'm saying? That's where Prince Harry and all them live. That's where, you know what I mean? That's where they at. You know what I mean? Just for context.
Star adjacent. You
know what I'm saying? So gorgeous. And they're and when we were looking for courthouses, we were like, okay, we're not just going to go to any courthouse. You know, this is also why we didn't get married in Chicago. No shade. But
no, it's courthouse. Like, first of all, who even thinks like that? Like, who has the cutest courthouses?
Yeah, right.
That's a wild ass thought.
Right, exactly. But in LA, like LA got the courthouses. Like they got the them shits is fucking historical. All right.
Hey, listen. Marriage hack. Right here.
I'm just letting you know right now, for a good smooth $107. You married. So
aesthetics.
Right, exactly. And you got a nice background. So so Santa Barbara Courthouse is like a historic landmark. Like it's gorgeous, and it's got like, it's like people go there and they tour it like it's a museum. And it's a public space. And so some people rent out their courtyard and have like formal weddings. And like we popped up super early, got up at like 5, drove out there. We were the first persons in the office. And it was just like us alone with the woman you can either get a thing where it's like a little ceremony or it's like done right at the clerk's desk. And like, we weren't able to get an appointment to have it be like a ceremony outside of the clerk area, but it was like still really romantic and cute because it was just us. And like, we were very adamant about getting it done on March 5th because that is my grandparents' marriage anniversary. And as y'all know, if you've been listening, my grandfather passed in December. And like last year when I was like visiting him and recording our conversations and like all that stuff like that, he just like randomly was talking about, I was talking to him about like his relationship with my grandma and stuff. And then he was just like, well, you know, he's like, you know, when we were married, right? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, he was like March 5th, 58. And they were married for 64 years. And I just felt like, yeah, I mean, I'm just like, wow, it just warms my heart. And when he passed in December, I was like, I want to get married on March 5th and carry this tradition. I want to be married for 64 years. And I like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like
I love that.
Yeah. So, I just felt it has a sentimental value for us. And the courthouse, obviously, like I said, is like gorgeous. And we took photos on the inside, and then we went up to the clock area, and like, you can overlook the entire city, and it's like the hills. And then like all of the buildings in Santa Barbara are white with like the clay, like the rounded clay.
I know what you're talking about.
Roofs and tiles. And so it's just like super aesthetic. And then the ocean. Wow. And all week in LA, it was like overcast and like kind of rainy and dreary. But then that day, like the sky opened up and it was like clear skies. Right. The sky was like just blue the entire day. It was gorgeous weather. And then after we got all the photos, we went to we went to lunch at this like farm place. It's like they grow their food, but then it's also it's like an estate where they have a farm, and then it's also a hotel where you can stay there. And it's like, so we went there and had this beautiful, 5-star lunch, and had some bubbly. And Charlotte, Matthew's sister, who's currently living in Sweden, she like wrote out this thing, and Jessica, Matthew's sister, who was with us, read it, and it was like all emotional. And then, it was a beautiful moment. And I just say all this to say, is like, this is, it has affected my training a little bit, but it's okay. Cause again, I'm going to pop up and I'm going to do what I can do. I've also felt that I had a moment where, cause Mike Brown out of Chicago, who's coming to run the race. I've talked about this before, but like LA is like one of his favorite LA courses. Like, I was just saying, like, I was telling him about how I wasn't really feeling that good and stuff. And I was like, maybe it's also because I'm still mourning my grandfather. Like, it really hit me. And he brought up the fact that there's that book called The Body Keeps the Count, where like when things happen to you, your body, stores it and manifests it in different areas in your body and stuff like that. And it's like, it's like that could be part of it as well, where I was just like, I'm mourning physically and mentally and just like spiritually. It's just like, and also I've moved to this new city and I'm transitioning here, and it's just a lot. There's a lot happening, and it's being reflected back to me in different ways. And I really think that this training season is like one of those ways where I'm just like, bitch, okay. Like I said, you need to listen to your body a little bit more. There's a lot to learn here. Like, you still have a lot of potential. Like, don't give up on yourself. Like, a lot of that is where I'm at right now. And I think more than anything, showing up though on race day, not giving up is really important. I was talking to one of the girls that's also training with Girl Gang Crazy along with me. And she's been dealing with, also some issues with like one of her legs. I can't remember exactly what, but she's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like show up. She's like, I don't know if I'm even going to race. I said, no. I was like, have you done a marathon before? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, you should still show up, because there are people who show up to marathon and they will walk the entire thing. They will walk the entire thing. They will show up thinking that they're going to crush it. And then something happens and then they're hobbling to the finish line. Like, it's one of those things where it's a whole experience. Like, you can't and you've gotten this far, like, just cross the finish line, get that medal, have that moment of accomplishment. Cause it's not just about race day. It's about the training, the commitment, the community that you've been in and like that you've shared space with. It's like, it's all of that.
Yeah.
And
this is a victory lap for the last 20 weeks.
Exactly. And that's something where I was like, I just really wanted to share that. Cause like, show up, just show up and see.
Pop out.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. I was like, I'm still gonna pop out. You still gonna see me. I might be run walking, but it's cool. Like, it's fine. And that's the energy. I've had that energy since the beginning. I still have it today. It's unfortunate that my leg feels the way it does, but I'm learning from it.
There we go. I love that. Listen, hey, I think we should just go ahead and wrap it up there. I'm looking at the clock. You know what I'm saying? You said what you said. I think that was a good way to end it right there. Pop out for yourself, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you got going on, whether it's running, personal, whatever it is you're doing, keep going. What I say earlier, there's no mile that does not count. You feel me? Like, keep going. Show up. Show up for your race. Show up for yourself. Show up for your family. Show up for you. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Follow us on Instagram, like, subscribe, give us your comments. If you have a question about something, DM us. You know where to find us.
We right here.
And and hopefully we made your workout, your morning, your day better. And we will see you next time.
Peace.